Ms. Pugh, I could understand if you stole canned food because you were hungry or stuff for a baby, but you stealing candles, ma'am. Come on. I mean, really? That's just dumb. For me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true. Okay, you got to speak up. I don't hear you at all. Okay, something's going on with the courtroom.
We're not muted. Can you hear me, Judge?
I hear you. I don't hear her.
A little soft spoken.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Jessica Lynn Pugh, 2021 CR 08385 for theft by shoplifting. What is your client plead to the offense before the court, Mr. Lynch?
Judge, she pleads guilty.
Okay, by entering a plea of guilty, ma'am, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about September 15th of 2021, while on foot patrol, Officer Kenneth Lucas was approached by the loss prevention personnel, Ms. Brittany Wilkerson, at 2940 Anvil Block Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, also known as the Walmart, Clayton County. Ms. Wilkinson stated that she recently caught the defendant shoplifting and detained her in the office. Officer Lucas met with Ms. Wilkinson in her office and asked what were the items that were taken from the business. Ms. Wilkinson advised that the defendant had taken 2 candles, valued both at $36. Ms. Wilkinson said that she had no choice but to prosecute due to the defendant exceeding the minimum stolen amount, as well as not possessing any identification when contact was made. The defendant purchased items from the business, but then placed unpaid items in the same bag as she used for her self-checkout registers, passing all points of sale. When she was asked if the items belonged to her, the defendant stated no. And at that time, the defendant was arrested and placed under arrest for theft by shoplifting. At this time, the state's recommendation is 12 months probation, a fine of $200 to be suspended. The defendant is to complete the theft prevention course, 40 hours of community service, and to not return back to 2940 Anvil Block Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, also known as the Walmart.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Yes, Your Honor. I have discussed this case with Ms. Pugh and her rights to trial. She has taken accountability and she would ask the court to accept the plea as negotiated. She did want me to ask whether you would consider to allow her probation to terminate after she completes.
No. Ms. Pugh, I could understand if you stole canned food because you were hungry or stuff for a baby, but you stealing candles, ma'am. Come on. Really? That's just dumb. So no, you're gonna feel all of this. And stealing candles. I just don't even understand what is it, some thrill? Like, oh, I might not get caught. Let me try it. I just don't even understand this. There's people out there living on the just don't have anything to live. And if they come and they say, oh, well, I was stealing food, that I could possibly understand. But you're stealing candles. You can't eat it. Don't nobody want to buy candles. For right now, like people are using other things to set their house. So I don't even understand why candles called you for theft. So I'm going to accept your plea, sentence you to 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $200, which the state is willing to suspend. You're going to take a theft prevention course, 40 hours of community service, and you're not to go back to any Walmart in Clayton County. No Walmarts. Do you understand? For the balance of your probated sentence. All right, I'm gonna ask you when you leave the courtroom, you're gonna go to the right to the courtroom next to us, 305. Those first double doors as you come into the courtroom, you'll see the probation expert in one of those rooms. If she's with someone, she'll have you wait out in the hall until she's ready to speak with you, and she'll get you signed up for probation. Miss Pugh, you too old for this, ma'am. Don't do this dumb stuff again, okay? All right. You can go exit the courtroom, and Miss James will be waiting in the courtroom next door. Just make sure that if she's with someone, you just wait quietly in the hall, and she'll call you when she's ready. All right. Thank you.